Well, hey there. Good morning or good afternoon to everyone, depending on what part of the country you are calling in from. I would like to welcome you to the Finance of America Rental Property Loans for Real Estate Investors. My name is Ginger Bell, and on this webinar today, I have Avery Harper. Hello, Avery.
Hello, Ginger. How's it going today? Thanks for having me today.
Oh, I tell you what, I'm excited to have you on here. Always love the opportunity to work with you. And I am super excited about what we're sharing today. And as you all are getting logged in, I want to go through a couple of housekeeping things. First of all, you can listen either on your phone or on your computer. If you're on your computer, you're going to see the slide deck. If you're on your phone, you're just going to hear us. And I will be sending follow-up information. I'm recording this webinar. I'm also have a lot of links to be able to send you. So you'll be able to access all the information. And then if you have questions today throughout the webinars, I'm sure you do, and we often get lots of questions during our commercial webinar, you can type them two different ways, either in the chat box or in the Q&A box. And let's do a quick little sound check and make sure that you all can hear us and you know how to ask questions. So if you can either type in the chat box or the Q&A box, let us know what part of the country you're calling in from. I always like to know how the weather is. I was in Denver yesterday, and it was a beautiful 60 degrees, and I think they're going to get snow there tonight. I am back home in Oregon, and then I will be off to Austin for the MBA conference later this week. So, Avery, are you going to be, I didn't even ask you that, are you going to be at the MBA in Austin?
I'm still debating. I got to look at the rest of my schedule. I've been doing a lot of traveling, and I'm located here in sunny Southern California, down in San Diego and Carlsbad. So it's hard for me to leave right now.
I know, right. Well, hey, Austin's not a bad place, so you can
Oh,
definitely.
yes.
Okay, guys, I have a ton of handouts for you. And so I'm putting them up in your chat box. You can access all of the information there. Let me make sure and get that up there for you. So if you click on the links, then you'll be able to access that information. And I want to make sure that you get all that. And I also will be sending a follow-up email that will come out tomorrow, and I'll have a recording of this webinar. So if you have somebody that you want to listen to the webinar, they can listen to it. You can listen to it again, whatever you want. And then I'll have links to all of the information here. What I have up there, just so you know, is we've created two marketing videos. We've created an open PowerPoint presentation, which Avery and I are going to go through. And then I also have a realtor presentation invitation that I've written. And our goal today is to provide you with the resources that you need to go out and to do your own presentations, to do your own social media, to do what you want to do as far as marketing for the commercial product. And we're specifically focusing on getting those buyers that want to buy rental homes. So it's not a fix and flip. We're not talking about really multi-unit, although I mean those are available under this, but really it's those who want to buy a rental property. So that's what this presentation is built around, and that's the information that we're sharing with you. We do have an upcoming webinar that is next week on Tuesday, October 29th, and we're going to be focusing on home style best practices. So I'll have William Brown, who is the National Renovation Sales Manager for Finance of America, and he'll be joining me, and we'll be doing that. So are you guys ready to get started? Let's do it. First, I want to introduce you to Avery Harper. Avery is a field market specialist with Finance of America and has been working in the commercial industry for quite a while. One of my favorite things, Avery, about working with you is you are so passionate about and I mean your energy is infectious. So you guys are really in for a big treat with that. And so
Thank you.
Avery, when we talked about doing this, we really wanted to be able to not just do an overview of the actual program, but to really give tools for them to go out and share this program with real estate agents, with investors, to be able to start talking about it on social and to to position themselves and let their partners know, let consumers know that they have the option of being able to help people become landlords. And so what we're going to go through is the actual slide deck that we've created for you to use. And this is an open PowerPoint slide deck, which means you can put your information in here. So we've created the, and this is just the header that you're going to use. You can put your logo in here. You can put your contact information in here. I've created a second page where you can insert your name, your company, remember your NMLS ID number. On a side note, I actually know that a lot of examiners in different states are now looking for social media. So make sure everything is set up correctly in your social media. And this is one of those things you want to make sure it includes your NMLS number. But when we created this slide deck, I know we wanted to be able to lay the foundation for you to talk to realtors about why it's important for them to know about this product. And so we started with knowledge builds value. So when you're doing this presentation, you want to do that, and you want to lay the foundation that knowledge builds value. And so why, Avery, do realtors need to know about this commercial product?
Oh, well, it's a great platform, right? So it's so important for the realtors to know that they've got this option to send their customer base to a platform that can help them take down fix and flip, new construction, and rental. This rental product that we have is really outstanding. It gives them opportunity to bring immediate value, because everything that we do is based on the cash flow of the property and not the income. I know some of the investors are thinking, man, if I go back and I buy this property, or if I go to my local banker, they're going to look at my DTI, it's going to be on my credit report, or maybe if I have 10 now with Freddie and Fannie guidelines, I'm at my max. But our platform gives them that opportunity to go ahead and knock it out if it's a cash flowing property. So the realtors, they need to know, because they're right in the trenches with the customer base, and it can be an immediate value add to the customer.
Absolutely. And it also provides a strategy for realtors as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the things they can add to their tool belt, right? So as realtors go out and they're showing investors different properties, and they're going over with them their different exit strategies or what they may be using, this is a different tool for realtors to use and say, hey, I've got the ability to lead you over to financing to take care of these investment properties. I mean, they're showing houses, they're going to different meetings, they're working with property managers, they're in the network with these investors, but now they have a tool or a resource to send to you guys because of this platform. They need the knowledge, they need the information so that they can sell the sizzle, and we can execute on our end and put more deals into place.
Right, and it allows the realtor to have a competitive advantage knowing about this. And they don't have to know everything about the program. They just have to know the highlights, and then it's available.
Exactly. We want to give them that competitive advantage, like I say, adding that extra tool in their toolbox and giving them the opportunity to have the knowledge base to take someone to our platform with the correct information. So it's going to give that seller an opportunity now to have a different way to finance their rental properties, opposed to the traditional route and even those hard money routes. This is a great platform. And we want those realtors to know the knowledge, because it does give a competitive advantage. Exactly.
And so when you're doing this presentation, you want to lay that foundation, and then you want to move into asking this question. And why is that important?
Well, the thing is just kind of piggybacking on what we're saying. If you're doing a presentation in front of a group of realtors, whether it's a lunch and learn or cheese and wine, whatever it may be, you want to focus on, we've got something that other people don't have. So that gets their attention. That gets them asking questions. So when they say, hey, my guys went over to their local lender and they're capped out with rental properties, they have the max or 9 or 10 that they don't have room to take on another deal. Well, we can say yes, right? So they're hearing no, and now we can say yes, because our product is based on the cash flow and the performance of the property, opposed to the normal DTI over the individual. So I think the realtors would really like it if they had the information, and you really hone in on that. We won't turn them down, whereas in the traditional financing world, is turn them down based on those other variables that I spoke about.
Right. And so the focus on this presentation is just on rental properties. And so Avery's mentioned a couple of different products that FAM Commercial has available, including the fix and flips, and there's actually construction and multi-unit. So, I mean, there's several different products available, but for this, we wanted to focus on just rental properties to be able to leverage that on listings and buyers. And so that's what we're going to talk about in this particular presentation. We have put in here this particular slide, and what it is a comparison, and I'll let you explain what it's about and some of the requirements. So it's kind of an overview as far as what the program is. And Avery, you've talked a little bit about this already.
Yeah, great. So this is one of my favorite slides. This is a slide kind of showing everyone about how we fit into the mix. So we kind of fill this gap of opportunity with the investors, because we kind of fit between traditional financing and hard money. What we do is we allow people to have exposure limits on our fix and flip and new construction line of credit. And that is something that traditional financing won't do as well. They kind of want you to do one deal at a time. And what we'll do is give you an exposure limit to take down, whether it's a rental property and you need to bridge it over, you can use that line for that. Or if it's a traditional fix and flip where you're buying a property, fixing it up, and then putting it on the market. And we also use that same exposure to take down new construction. Where we kind of differ from hard money is our pricing. Our pricing is very competitive, and it's not gouging like sometimes the hard money platforms are, where you're doing the 4 and 5 points and up into the upper teens in regards of rate. So we kind of find ourselves fitting in the middle of the gap, with our platform being kind of a one-stop shop where you can do rental, fix and flip, and new construction.
Well, and you know, it's so funny. I mean, we use the term hard money in the industry, and I mean, when I think of that term, it has such a negative connotation. And so by being able to go into a realtor and let them know that you have a very viable product that is a true commercial investor product that is backed by a national company and allows them to leverage that opportunity.
Well, yeah, certainly. We always let people know, you know, we're a Blackstone firm and we're private equity. We're not hard money. I know, to your point, sometimes they can get a negative content, but we are private equity, and we allow these things as exposure lines. We've created this platform for investors only to really grow people's business. I mean, this is really what our model is based on. It's piggybacking on the rental product, that you can do multiple rental properties with us if they cash flow and they perform. There's not the rigorous guidelines that Fannie and Freddie have on you, with capping you at 10 properties. You can do any deal you can if it actually cash flow. So it is in place to grow your business.
Right. And I love that term, private equity. So that's something to remember. Okay, so let's talk about the rental properties. And so here are the highlights as far as qualification for this program.
Yeah, so some of the highlights are, you know, no personal income, which we spoke about. Everything is based on the performance of the property. So if your rent is taking care of the overhead, then we've got a loan. You know, there's different percentages and leverage points, and we can go over that later. But the bottom line is, we're not checking a W-2 and a 1099 in your tax return to get you qualified. Our commercial aspect comes from, you know, within our name, Finance of America Commercial. It comes from this next point, which is we lend to LLCs and corporations. We lend to businesses. So we don't do the traditional commercial properties like a strip mall or a doctor's office or office space. We do residential lending on a commercial platform. So we're lending to businesses 1 through 4, and we'll go up to 5, from 5 to 20 units on our multifamily. So that's kind of where we cap it at. So that's kind of where our name comes from. And of course, our loan amounts go up to $2 to $2.5 million. And like I spoke before, we offer that exposure limit for renovation and fix and flip.
Excellent. So when you're talking about qualification, then you're looking at no personal income, no tax returns, no property count maximum. There is a maximum as far as LTV on purchase, but what are the things if somebody's just getting into buying their first rental property that they need to be able to have in place in order to qualify?
Well, yeah, one of the things that we talk about is reserves, right? That's not on this list. Reserves is something that we look for in regards to your liquidity. You want to make sure that someone has at least 6 months of reserves of the actual payment they're going to be making every month on that property. If they have those in reserves, and along with a 620 credit score, then they've got a great opportunity to purchase a rental. 80% LTV is our max. And if they have that 20% down payment for that property, along with the 6 months of reserves, they would qualify. So it's a matter of us getting an appraisal and taking a look at what the market rent would be for that area to make sure that our property can cash flow. Even if it's vacant, then we know we can replace it with another tenant so the property can continue to perform. So it's really minimum requirements to qualify, even if you have no experience as a landlord.
And that's huge. And the whole single family rental units, I mean, that's the area that's really growing in terms of people that are buying homes. And the millennial market is one that really looks at this as far as making an investment, not just for a personal home, but actually as a rental property.
That's right. I mean, it's something that is definitely becoming more and more popular with all the famous speakers like Grant Cardone and some of the other people that are really preaching cash flow
Right.
out there. It's got a lot of people's attention in regards to how to get started, how to get in there, and how to grow a portfolio. And there's no better place to start than with our platform, because we've got the layout for you to start with a single family rental, and you can grow up to doing multifamily, doing 5 to 20 units. And I think that's the goal with a lot of the millennials now, is to get a cash flow property and to actually build out a portfolio so that they can have, a different opportunity, maybe different retirement plan or something to pass along as generations to come. It's really becoming the new thing.
Right. So looking at that single rental property, and again, we've talked about the no personal income, no tax returns, no limit on the number financed, which is big because Fannie and Freddie has that 10 financed properties, 80% maximum purchase. But, not just looking at this as far as realtors, there's actually a cash out component as well. So if you're doing any kind of marketing to your database, that would be one that you'd want to look at if individuals want to cash out and maybe buy another rental home. So things to think about. And again, for realtors to know that, hey, that you have a rental property, well, why don't you refinance that, take the money out of that, and then you can buy another property. So just having that information is important, right?
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of the things that the realtors need to know about, because they can reach out into their network to the property managers that they know and leverage that point. So if you've got properties that are being managed by the property managers and they find out that there's a product out there that will allow them to cash out 75% LTV, that immediately creates value for that realtor, because they know that they can show that same customer 2 or 3 investment properties that they would have the ability to purchase now that they've cashed out on the equity on their other, the other investment properties that they have. So it's kind of like a new concept that's going around in the investor world called the BRRRR process, which is buy, rehab, and refinance, and when they have a tenant in the property. And that's one thing that we have seen a lot in our space, is that we've got customers coming to us. We're doing the 75% cash out refinance, and these people are repeating the process. So they're washing, rinsing, and repeating in regards of going out and buying more rental properties, because they're cashing out the equity on the one that they currently have. So it's been a very good model, and we've seen a lot of success here in the last year with that type of approach.
Absolutely. And then as far as even the market that has over 5 or more units, so looking at that portfolio and having the option of that is important as well.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the other side of the house. It's a great product. It's our portfolio product, which allows you to, number one, you can consolidate multiple rental properties together to make one commercial payment. Inside the norm, most of the people that want to look at this product is for someone who doesn't have any intentions of selling any of the rental properties. They want their portfolio loan to be cash flowing purposes only. They're actually looking for additional debt. So this is a great product to do that. It also will allow you to take down multifamily. So anything that's above 4 units, you're getting into the multifamily world where you're going 5 to 20 units. So, of course, our minimum loan size is $700K. We look for 7 units, but if you have under 7 units, we still will take a look at that project. And of course, we'll go up to 75% LTV. And in some cases, we'll even go up to 80%. We've changed some of our guidelines. So we'll even go up to 80% now on portfolio cash out. So something to definitely take a look at. It's great. It's got a 5 to 10 year balloon, sort of different than our fixed rate for 30 years on our single loans. But this will amortize on 30 years as well. So it kind of gives you that same rate or same payment plan, but you just, it's really locked in for 5 to 10 years, which is kind of different than our single rental loan, which is a fixed rate for 30 years.
And that's the kind of thing, too, to have a conversation with real estate agents, to have an idea that this is available. So when they sit down with someone who's looking at building a portfolio, they know a little bit about how to have a conversation and how to plan. And then to bring you in as that trusted advisor to sit down. I mean, imagine having a conversation like that where you're actually making a plan and leveraging and saying, okay, this year you're going to look at buying this property. Next year you're going to look at buying this property. And to have a plan for building their portfolio, I think is incredible. So the idea in putting this presentation slide deck together is it's very high level. We don't want you to get into, what the credit score qualifications are. Realtors don't need to know that. They just need to know this is available. And most importantly, they need to know that you have access to it. The rest of it, all those other things, then like if they're asking you, what credit score, or, what's the interest rate, or say, what, it obviously it depends on the individual, it depends on what they're looking for. What I recommend is let's set up a time, get together with them, and think about doing meetings together with the real estate agent when you're meeting with these investors and to have those conversations. And so I think that's so powerful to be able to do that. So I want to ask you all a question for those of you who are on the webinar. How many of you are currently doing any presentations with realtors on investment properties like what we're talking about, and having the conversations with them about, leveraging that and looking at, listing properties or talking to sellers about having the option of having a renter, just talking about that opportunity or going in any presentation. Is anyone doing any presentations like that? And if so, I'd love to be able to find out how you're doing with that. I know, Avery, you work with loan originators across the country. And I know you do a lot of presentations with realtors and attend a lot of realtor events. So what are you seeing that realtors want to know?
Well, I've had several presentations that include the lunch and learns, or we do, cheese and wine events, and realtors want to know, how quickly can they get their investors plugged into a product like this? Those are what I hear the most, because the realtor wants to be able to give spot on value. They've got a customer and they are showing them a house or showing them several properties on a weekend. They want to be able to create value immediately. So if they have this information and they have these resources and these tools to lead them to the right place, they don't have to know all of the ins and outs of the product. They have to be able to sell the sizzle per se. So that's kind of what they're after, is the immediate value and how quickly they can get their investor hooked up with this product is what I found to be most relevant as I do these presentations. Not so much concerned about the details, but more concerned about the sizzle and the ability to hook them up with the resource.
Exactly. And so that's why we made the PowerPoint slide deck. So you can go out and do lunch and learns. And I love the wine and cheese idea. I think that's a great idea to be able to do something like that. And so we're ending the slide deck for you. We have a slide there that has questions. Contact your friends at. You can insert your company name, your information there. As I said, what we're sharing with you is an open PowerPoint slide deck. You can put your information in there. I've got a couple of other tools that we're sharing with you that I'm going to go through in a second. But before I do, what I'd like to do, Avery, is for you to share how you can do business with Finance of America Commercial.
Yeah, absolutely. We pretty much got two different models that we do. One is like a referral model, which is probably the majority of our LOs are a referral partner with us. And basically what they do is we teach them how to get leads. When they have a lead or an investor, they say, hey, Avery, would you mind hopping on a conference call with me and speaking to my potential customer? And we walk them through the details of the product because we're the product experts. And then we take their loan packages in regards of documentation that we need. And we really just take the deal from the very beginning to the end and send our LO a commission check. In regards to the other model that we have is really after you've done a few referrals and you're getting the hang of it and you really like our business and you really like our model and you really see an opportunity to bring a lot of value in your network, then we start teaching you how to upload the documents and how to be a broker for this product, which gives you an opportunity to go up somewhat in regards of your points and with the ability to have more control over the diligent side of things. So we've got those two models. The majority is the number one, which is referral, because everybody has their own business and this is kind of a different segment. And you don't have to know all the details to sell this product. You just got to know just enough to be dangerous and to hand it over to your regional FMS to take it to the finish line. And then, of course, we've got the second model where after you get really comfortable, we can teach you all the ins and outs of the details so that you can go out and drive business on your own.
Exactly. And I know you have a map here on those states as far as, and not getting into all the requirements or anything on them, but looking at that to find out which states you do need to have licensing in. And obviously for the referral, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be licensed in the state that you're in. You can just refer the business and get paid. And if you want to be able to actually, run it under your license, and these are the states that you can do that either without a license or if you need a license and all of that. So you see people doing both, and it sounds like most people are getting started just referring and then moving over to the other, right?
That's correct. We have so many LOs out there that are referring in business. They're basically setting up a lead generated system where they are, sending, contact every day to us and then scheduling a conference call so we can introduce ourselves as being a partner. And then we'll go over all the details and all of the ins and outs and all the LTVs and all the formulas. So there's not a big anxiety about knowing all of the details to our product, but being able to provide value is what we tell our LOs. If you can provide value and you can put us in the right direction with the customers who can need this product, we can get you compensated and get your deal closed.
Absolutely. So the sales and marketing tools, there's a lot of them available for commercial, so I'm going to have you go through that. I have a question as far as the material that we're going through today. I put it up in your chat box. We will send a follow-up email link that'll have a link to all of the marketing material we're talking about, the videos, which I'm going to show you in a minute. I have an invitation and the slide deck. And so we have a question right now from Bill for you, Avery. If I refer a client, how do I get included on his next deal? What if he contacts you directly?
Yeah, so we protect all of our LOs and all of our referrals. Anyone or a broker, whomever, whatever the relationship is, once a deal comes into our pipeline, it's listed under your credentials. So every time that customer is doing a deal, it'll be under your credentials, so that you can continually get paid on your deals. That's the beauty of our products for both fix and flip new construction and for our rental side of the house. I have I have LOs every day and brokers. They call me almost every day telling me how they forgot about a customer who is currently closing a loan because they sent us a lead. We took care of them the entire way with white glove service, and now we've gotten to the finish line, and they didn't remember the last time they actually sent us the lead. So it's really a great thing because it's kind of the closest thing is you can get to a residual income is what I tell a lot of our LOs is if you get a customer sign up for one of our fix and flip new construction exposure lines, every time they do a deal, we send you commission, or every time that someone sends in a rental property when they're building their portfolio, now we're able to compensate you because your credentials are listed under that customer. So it's a really good opportunity to start a residual income base as you continue to build your business on the front side of the house with regular residential lending.
Right. And, it's one of those things too, if you're looking for other avenues to be able to market, to position yourself in your market, in your area. The commercial is absolutely one of the strongest that a lot of people aren't talking about. And so, think about the things you can start having those conversations, get to know the product. You don't have to be proficient in all of it, but just know enough to be dangerous and be able to answer questions that are at the high level. And then, lean on someone like Avery, who has, years of experience and passion in doing this. And so it really is a win-win. Okay, sales and marketing portal. Avery, you want to tell a little about all the things that you have available?
Yeah, so we got some really cool things in our sales and marketing portal. The number one thing that we have is our wholesale loan portal, which will allow you to have a calculator, kind of an on-spot ordeal. So when you're on the phone with a customer or you're on the phone with a realtor and they're running you some quick numbers about their potential deal, we've got that calculator on that portal system where you can go ahead and put terms out immediately, and they have a pretty good understanding about what the pricing would be from a rate standpoint and also a leverage standpoint in regards to their LTV. So that's a great tool. I would encourage everybody online to make sure that they get signed up with our WLP and get their credentials, because it's a great tool when you are out there navigating through Realtors and Investors. The other thing that we have that I really like is our customizable flyers. It gives you an opportunity to put your name, your picture, your information on our flyers so that when you're at events with realtors and investors and builders or whomever that you are connected with within your network, you can actually sell our product with your name, your information, your photo that has all the highlights of what we offer so that you can drum up business using those tools so that you can set up a lot of leads using these tools and then hand them over to your local or regional FMS for them to take it to the finish line. But we've got these things in place. We've got guidelines. We've got help guides. We've got all these different tools for information if you want to continue to learn the details about our products. We have product matrices packages, which is what I send out to everyone so that when they want to know kind of high level about each product that we offer, they can go through that product matrix and see some of the quick details. But we've got a really good portal system that I would encourage everybody to get signed up for if they don't have it and get credentials so that you can, hop online and immediately solve some questions or scenarios when people are reaching out.
Absolutely. So before we move on to next steps, I have another question talking about the referrals. And the question is, we send you a client referral and get paid the 100 basis points. What if that client sends you another borrower that they know in their network? Do we still get the 100 basis points?
I'm sorry, say it again. I missed that one.
So basically, what they're saying is they send you the first client and get paid, and then that client actually refers someone to you. Do they get paid? And I guess it's a matter of linking it in order to get paid for that client too.
Well, yeah, that's a great question. So, in other words, it's a trickle down scenario, right?
Right.
You send a customer, that's your customer. You get paid on that referral fee, but then that customer takes someone and sends someone else in. What you want to do is, when your customer, you want to make sure that your customer is sending you, and you're being the point of contact. And that's something that we mirror as well as a company. That when we get a referral, we make sure that they know that they're the single point of contact. So they've got any new referrals, anybody that they want to put in contact, they want to put it in contact with the referral basis where they came from, right? Because we don't want to cut you out of a deal. We want to make sure that you can get as many deals as you can using our product. So that's what we do as, uniformly. We want to make sure that everybody is referring their customers or their friends or their family or whomever they're speaking with to the point of contact, which would be our original referral.
Right. And to your point, it's a matter of keeping in touch with that referral that you sent over. So not just thinking of it as a transaction, but actually thinking of it as a relationship. And that's important when you're building into the investor community, is that each of your customers are truly customers. It's not just a transaction. You're not just handing somebody off and getting paid and then hoping you get the next deal, but staying in touch with them. I would highly encourage you to really, think about this in terms of what you can do for marketing and to start doing videos. If you've been on any of my webinars, and I'm going to show you some videos, I am all about videos. Everything you need to be doing right now, you need to be creating videos. You need to have a YouTube channel. If you want to truly get into building your expertise around commercial products and investors and rental properties and fix and flips, then you should think about having a YouTube channel. You should think about interviewing that customer and really building a relationship with that customer. So that's the whole idea in doing this, is not just looking at it as a deal, but looking at it as really building your expertise around this brand, just like what Avery's done. And you can hear it in his passion, in his voice. I mean, you can tell he absolutely loves this product. And I know he cares about all of you just because how he answers questions like that. So I thank you for that, Avery. It really comes through.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let's talk about next steps as far as getting started to do business with Finance of America Commercial. And then I'm going to show you the videos that we've made for you and the invitation so you can start doing your own lunch and learns. So next step is to, number one, what? Avery, I'm handing it off to you.
So the first thing you want to do is you want to email your FAM AE today to request a branch webinar training. We do these things either weekly or bi-weekly, depending on your FMS and your territory. And you want to get on our field market Spain training calendar ASAP, because if you are interested in this product, and I'm telling you, you should be, you want to make sure you reach out to your FAM AE and get hooked up with your field market specialist in your area so that they can give you all the tools and all the training and attend one of their webinars. We have them going on by at least one person on our team once a week. So we can get you hooked up with the information. And then 3, you do not have to be an expert. You don't have to know this product in and out to sell it. We have so many people who are referring business to us on a day-to-day basis. We've got people who have 19, 20 lines of credit set up, and they probably never looked at our guidelines, because we have such a great team in regards to field marketing specialists. That is what we are here for. We are the experts. We live it. We breathe it every day. We know the details. So if you have a network that you could take advantage of and you could make some residual income by using our product, this is the way to go. Get hooked up with your FAM AE, get hooked up with a field market specialist, and start getting trained up and start attending some of the webinars. And once you got a good feel for it, start referring some business, because we want to create an environment where it's so easy where you can click and grow rich. That's our little motto right now. Click and grow rich.
I like
you can
that.
literally send over information and get paid. So it's a great opportunity.
And we have some great resources available. You talked about some of the flyers. You can go in, you can customize those. They're simple to use and be able to start marketing yourself. And that's really what we're putting together. So we've been answering questions today as we've gone along. So if you have any additional questions, you can please feel free to type those in there while you're thinking about questions. I'm going to actually pop over. I'm going to show you. So here is the invitation that I made, and this is one of the follow-ups that we're going to have. I know it's hard sometimes. You're thinking, okay, I want to do a lunch and learn. What do I write for my invitation? How do I get people to go? So I've actually written the invitation for you. And so your title, Build Your Business and Investors, and then goes through a little bit as far as why they should be attending. According to a recent report by CNBC, many millionaires share that your best bet is investing in residential properties that produce rental income year round. And I have a link to that article down below. And then it goes on to say today's investors are looking to purchase homes that they can rent out long-term, and knowing financing options can help them build their portfolio. And so join, insert your name there, and then with company and what you have as far as your company name there, and then learn the highlights about investment home loan options available today. And I go through in this session, you're going to learn how to about what today's investment home loan programs look like, what types of properties can be purchased, loan qualifications, and why you need to know investment loan programs. So again, just very high level. And then register today, who should attend. If you are not using means to be able to handle registration like Eventbrite, let me know. I know we've done webinars in the past on how to use it. If you'd like us to do another webinar on that, we can definitely do that. So if you're interested in that, type in the chat box or the Q&A box, and we'll make sure and add it to the agenda for our webinars over the next couple months, because it's a great venue to be able to handle your registration, and it's an easy way to do promotion. So if you're interested in learning how to do Eventbrite and use that for your lunch and learns or your first-time homebuyer webinars or things like that, then let me know and we can do that. So I'm seeing some of you are posting in there that you'd like that, so we could put that together. Okay, so that is going to be in there. So you're going to get this slide deck. So what you're going to have is this. We're going to send you this slide deck. We're going to send you the invitation, and then I've got 2 videos that I'm going to send you. They're MP4 videos. You can do an intro and an outro video that goes around that, and I did an intro and outro webinar just this month. I think it was last week. And I taught how to make intro and outro videos and put them around bookends. And so if you didn't attend that webinar, I'm going to do it again in November. So I'll make sure and add that. If you're interested in attending that webinar, just type in there, let me know in your chat box or your Q&A box, and I'll include that invitation to the webinar I'm doing in November to teach you how to do bookends on your videos. So we'll go ahead and show this video. Hopefully you can see it. Let me get it up here. And we'll get it started. And this is just a very short video for you to post on social media. So again, it's very short, and it gives you an opportunity to just post something like that onto social media. So let me grab the other one here. This is for consumers. So the last one was for you to post to realtors, inviting realtors to attend your event or talk to you or about what you're doing. And now this one is for consumers. So the idea is short video. That's what you need for social media, and it allows you to be able to share that information with them, and then do your bookends, which it looks like some of you didn't attend that. And so I'll make sure and include that invitation as well. And I'm doing that in November. And so any additional questions you have, I'm going to put up here. I'm going to actually go through what you need to get started, because that's really the first step. So I'm going to send you all the follow-up links as far as getting information out there. Let us know what additional information that we can provide for you, because our goal is to be able to have you go out and get business. And so I see one question right now for you, Avery. It says, regarding the map that we saw in the presentation, let's say we have mortgage broker license in 3 states. Can we still send you referrals for other states in green, even if we're not licensed in that state? So, and it's state
Yes.
specific, right?
Good question. Good question. Great question. Yes, the answer to that is yes. So if you're brokering in the states that you have license, or the state actually requires for you to have those licenses, and you're in a broker status, and then there's a state where you don't have license and you need license to do a deal there, then you can be a referral in that state. So yes, that's actually a great question.
So you can do both. So, and I mean, really, if you're thinking about it, this is an opportunity for you to do business in some states that maybe you're not getting business out of right now. So an opportunity for that, especially building into commercial, because commercial is different than what you have as far as your residential.
That's correct.
Okay, well, I am not seeing any other questions, so I am going to close out the webinar. I want to thank everybody for attending. I know this was a popular webinar, and I think we'll probably do something again similar next month. Let us know if this is valuable to you, and what are the tools and resources we can give you. Do you want more videos? Do you want more slide decks? What are some of the things that we can use to help? So it looks like, Avery, we're getting, will you be doing a webinar on fix and flip? And we have done webinars on fix and flips. We can do one again next month if Avery's up for that. Or we may have someone else. We'll talk and find out. So we can definitely do that. The fix and flip product is a lot of fun too, right?
Absolutely, it's a ton of fun. I think if you all like the rental property, or you like the rental platform, you will like the exposure limit that we offer for fix and flip and for new construction.
Right. And then I'm seeing in here more videos would be helpful. So we can definitely work on that and build some more videos. So we'll do that. And so, Avery, they're asking for your contact information. I know you work specifically with account executives within FAM. So the best way for them to really get started with this program is by contacting their FAM AE, right?
That's right. Reach out to your FAM AE and see who they're connected with in regards to their field market specialist in that territory. And then I'm happy to also help you in any way that I can, or help you get connected with whom your Finance of America commercial rep would be if it's not me. So I'm happy to share my contact information for help, but probably the best place to start is reaching out to your Finance of America AE and figuring out who your field market specialist will be going forward.
Perfect. And then we're having a question, do we have a video on fix and flip? We do not have a video on fix and flip, but we will be doing fix and flip in November. So watch for that webinar, and then we will have a video on fix and flip. Okay, good. Well, I'm not seeing any other questions. So you guys have a great week. And Avery, thank you so much. I absolutely love working with you, and I appreciate all that you do. And I look forward to seeing you again on another webinar.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.